I don't speak at all. Why? You're weird if you don't speak, and people think you're annoying if you do speak. What's going on, guys? It's Doss. October 17th is coming up, so I guess that means I owe this channel another update since I've made the decision of departing from my hometown, my home state, looking for answers or any other opportunity that's out there. So that's what this video is about. Of course, I'll link last year's video in the description, maybe a couple of clips from that video on this channel, on this video, so you guys don't get bored of just looking at this. So, like I said, October 17th, 2022 was the official date. I packed up my truck at the time that I had, pretty much moved, well, some of my stuff up here to another city about 800 miles away from Texas. I was born in California near San Diego in a little town called Loma Linda, so we'll say San Diego. Then right around like 2001-ish, my family moved to North Texas. I decided to move out here. Of course, I'm just giving my experience. I don't know what anybody else goes through, if that should be the right decision for you or whatever. And I didn't know what to do. I was looking for more, options and anything else really, because I just felt stuck. I don't have any baggage, so why not do it? And I have to say, I am definitely interested to see what life would be like if I stayed. Where I came from is a much bigger city. It seems like you got more opportunity, but the much bigger city also comes with its cons. Of course, I'm already throwing like all kinds of B-roll shots on the screen, and I think I've made pretty significant progress. As my uncle always tells me, you gotta run your own race, stuff like that. But I always feel like I'm behind no matter what. I feel like there's fire right here on the back of my neck every single day. If we're talking about jobs, let's start like how I started. Shout out to my boy Alex, he's probably watching this, that little hater right there. That's the homie right there, bro. He hooked me up April 11th, 2018. My very first job at Studio Movie Grill in Texas. And I was making $6.50 an hour. And I was back in high school. I was still in high school, so that was pretty cool. Then my next job after that, it was some type of tool store. I forgot exactly what it was called. Unload, like, at first it was one, 18-wheeler trailer every week. Then it turned to two. Then it turned to 2.5. And I was like, yeah, I ain't doing this for $8 an hour. That's crazy. So I tried to work at Domino's, and I hated answering phone calls and stuff like that. And I quit that in not even like 3 days, dude. I just didn't last through that. That was terrible. After I graduated high school, I bounced around from a bunch of different dealerships. I was doing a lot of stuff in the back. I was washing cars, detailing, service porter, kind of getting pushed out of the dealerships because they started to hire third parties and stuff like that. So a whole different company would just deal with all that car washing stuff in the back and stuff like that. It used to be where you could just apply and then, you're actually like employed with the dealership, but not anymore for that, at least back in Texas where I'm from. So I even tried sales for a little bit, and what a crooked system it is. Like, especially nowadays, bro. Oh, bring everybody in no matter what, even if you can't get them approved, we're just gonna get them in to see, to have that kind of traffic in business, to make the dealership look better, because you get a lot of people. And I just hated that, dude. I had so many people that came in and they just, they caught an Uber and, we couldn't get them done. And I knew I couldn't get them done, but my manager wanted me to bring them into stuff. It was just terrible. That's just not the kind of business for me, bro. I mean, I don't like talking to people anyway, but as I was detailing at one of the dealerships, how every city kind of has their like public transportation, kind of getting into that, cleaning the buses and stuff like that. And I was like, man, if only I could just get a shot at being like a mechanic or something like that, because I do like to work on my own cars, as you guys seen a lot of videos from back in the day, me and Terrell, I always wanted to kind of like do that, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to like just toss myself into that debt for trade school. A lot of employers, they look for that experience, but sometimes when you just say you got it, it's not enough. Me, of course, I got my videos to prove it. After I tried sales, I went to another dealership and I was a BDC agent, pretty much just somebody who's like in the background. They're just calling a bunch of people, trying to make appointments for the entire dealership. And I was doing that for a little while. That was my last job I had in Texas until I moved out here. And then once again, as a detailer in drive time, as soon as I got here, my very first job, shout out to the homie Terrell, he hooked me up with that. I do like to detail, like back when I was still in school, middle school, high school, they always said, do what you love. Like, what is that saying? If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. That's what I always thought until I realized how cruel life really was. Maybe if you're a female, you could do that. But now for me, my mindset is I need to do what actually works. What's in demand, what's going to actually, keep me a career. Because of course, like nowadays, everybody wants to do social media. Everybody wants to do content. Everybody wants to be a rapper and stuff, but you got to have that solid backup plan. That's what I've always been chasing after, trying to figure out. It's always been about cars for me. I've had millions and tons of Matchbox cars, model cars, all kinds of cars and cars. You guys have seen the video of my Ford Ranger. I still have that, my very first car. Just like, man, what do I do? What's gonna stick with me? And the detailing, you can turn it into like a business. I worked with a lot of older people and they're like, yeah, I've had my business before and this and that. And then they're right here doing the same job as you. It's like, what happened to the business? What happened to this and that? It's just like, I don't get it. I still want that. I still want to make my own like detailing business situation, but right now I just wanted that solid background like I was just talking about, procrastinating like crazy. This year, holy crap. At the beginning of this year, my dumb ass was just wasting money on dirt bikes and shit. Now it's just like a whole different situation for me right now because I have an opportunity that I can really show my potential and shine and actually make a steady foundation for myself right finally, about time, right? Because I'm old as hell. Earlier this year, I was really gonna put my foot down, man. I was working 2 full-time jobs late last year, right? I was full-time Amazon and my public transportation jobs. I've kind of bounced around from 2 jobs before. Typically, I'll have a full-time and a part-time. I just do it because I don't like free time. That's why right now, my schedule is set to where I never have a full day off. I was just putting my foot down earlier this year. You know what? I'm going to figure something out, bro. I gotta make a decision. Am I gonna get into debt or what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go with this business plan? And I went to my bank and asked, okay, about like business credit cards and stuff. Then I started taking tours of trade schools and stuff like that. I've always heard, so with this job I have now, I've always heard about this apprenticeship, I guess you can call it. You have to be an employee already. You're going to this apprenticeship program where it's basically like trade school and they're teaching you like the foundation of how to be a mechanic, at least on their floor. I always heard about it, but I never knew when it was gonna come up. As I'm doing all this, getting information about how to start a business and I'm touring these trade schools, that flyer comes up. The apprenticeship program literally just blanked out and I just focused on that opportunity right there. Long story short, I feel like I fought off the zombie apocalypse to get to where I am at now. I went through a lot. I had to take a written test, 2 hands-on. Like I said, I had to get my CDL under. Holy crap, dude. And I drove, because I failed the CDL test once, because it was like the first time of me taking it. I had to drive like an hour and a half each time. So an hour and a half there to the office. I went to an office that was an hour and 40 minutes away because it was the soonest appointment that I could go to because I needed to get it like in a rush. A lot of hair loss. I beat out 25 other people for this spot that I'm in now, man, and I'm not letting it go anywhere, bro. Like, of course, now that I'm in the program, it's not just a piece of cake now. It's not a guarantee, but it's something I know how to do. Like, I'm actually happy to wake up in the morning and go to work. That should say something because I've always hated work. I've always hated school, but at least this is something I can relate to. Automotive industry is something I can relate to. And I know what you're thinking. Why don't you just go to it in the first place? As soon as you got out of school, it's debt, bro. No matter what, it's debt. Like, I don't care what people say out there, bro. You go to like any type of school, any type of like trade, whatever, it's money. Even if you get a grant, you're still gonna owe like $6 grand, $5 grand. Ask Alex, bro, my boy Alex, who got me the first job. He went to, as soon as we graduated the same class, same year, same day, all that, obviously. His parents were taking pictures with him right next to my family when we were outside, after the ceremony and stuff like that. He went to HVAC, and he's not even doing it. He got out making a little bit more than I was at the dealerships, and he's not even doing that anymore. I don't want to go to school for like no reason, just to say I went to school, who's even really still watching anyway at this point of the video. But like I keep saying in every single video, this channel, it was never about the clout, bro. It's always been about the reminiscing and just a good time. My parents had me a little bit later, so I've attended a lot more funeral situations. Every passing, bro, I'm just like, damn, like they were right there, now they're gone, and that's what made me pop out the camera, bro. That's what made me start like actually recording stuff, even though I don't talk that much in person. I know it's kind of weird, right? It's like, oh, he's all about the camera action stuff. Of course, I don't record everything, but that's the reason behind all of this. I don't care who watches, the views and the likes and stuff like that. I used to upload 10-minute videos and only get like 7 views on it. Best believe, every time I go back and visit, bro, I always want to stay. Being up here in a whole different atmosphere, it does get to me sometimes. I gotta do what I gotta do for now. Of course, I am one day, as a lot of people do, they look to go back to where they're from. That's exactly what I'm planning on, building a career up here at least, and then taking it back down there eventually. I feel like I'm getting some traction, I really am. But yeah, and I apologize to anybody who's, Turner went back on my word a little bit because we had plans, but the reason why I did that is because this whole year has just been extremely stressful for me, and also they were kind of trying to like alternate the plan a little bit. It wasn't what I exactly said, so it was just throwing me off. Nice pretty scenery with the mountains and stuff like that, but anyways, just a lot has been going on this year, dude, and I'm just proud of myself for actually overcoming. From the beginning of this year to now, I never would have thought. And I just wanted to just make another one of these videos because this is DOS dedicated, bro. Like, I'm sitting here talking to, like, I got millions of followers and viewers and stuff. No, bro, this is like, if I make it to that certain age where I'm back and forth in the rocking chair like this, You know, I don't even have to speak, bro. They could just watch the channel. That's the point of this, bro. The reminiscing and stuff, you know, if the homies is alive at that point too, there you go, bro. They could just click on the channel and they can just watch, bro. Just watch. I'm fascinated with the technology that we have, our generation has nowadays, even though I'm old too. But my generation kind of grew up with this, like smartphones came out when I was still in like elementary. So, you know, social media started to come around in, you know, middle school and stuff like that, even though I was too stupid to actually start doing this back then. But I'm doing it now. So at least we can kind of like get the majority of this life going on camera at least. Of course, I don't record everything like I said, but this is DOS dedicated. This move has kind of gave me more hope, you know, like everything I was searching for and kind of looking for back where I'm from, I'm getting traction here. Not just with, you know, my life and the career situation. I didn't want to touch too much on this weird situation to talk about on camera, but I used to just have millions of hopeless romantics. I have like 3 or 4 theme songs, and one of them is The Way Life Goes, Lil Uzi Vert, Hopeless Romantics, Wiz Khalifa, and then Wanted You by Nav. There's a couple of others and stuff. They use me for whatever they want, money, attention, whatever, you know, until they just find a better option or they just get bored. They just leave like seasons and stuff. That's how it's always been. So I never claimed any of that. So my last Hopeless Romantic was late 2020, early 2021. So it's been about 4 years since I've been out. After that, I just quit. I quit. So I've been out of the dating game, the relationship game, all that game for about 4 years now. And for whatever reason now, I don't know why, don't ask me, I'm literally like 9-0 right now. It's like a whole different situation when it comes to stuff I was missing out on and looking for. It's like I'm getting it all here, you know? But at the end of the day, I still miss home. I still want to go home eventually. I want to take this success back home. And that's where I'm at, you know? I just got to deal with what I got here for now, what I'm doing here for now, and eventually, you know, because Texas is always home, bro. Like I said, every time I go back, dude, I'm always like, dang, I want to stay. But I know I got work to do up here. I appreciate you for watching though. That's the point, like, right? This video is probably gonna be damn near 30 minutes long, and whoever makes it to this point, shout out to you. Let me know in the comments, right? No, I'm nowhere near a saint, bro, but just the progress I made out here, it literally feels like God just gave me a second chance. Like I came out here and threw away all my sins. Like I literally got rid of basically everything except myself, right? And the clothes that I came with, you know, my computer, and that's it. I pretty much just threw everything away. I could really turn this into a foundation, the foundation I've been looking for. Thank God every day for the progress I've made, especially since I've been here, and just the fact that I actually made that step was just, you know, at first it seemed like it was stupid. Moving to a smaller city was really kind of like, it's never guaranteed, nothing's ever guaranteed, but I'm definitely gonna do everything I can to hold on to it and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I'm gonna stop talking, I'm gonna get out of here, and before somebody interrupts me in the background, and that's it.